Welcome to the Friendly Fire Show.
Episode 126.
For November 2016, we don't do this enough to have a date. It's the pre-post, it's the actual time of PAX recording Australia show.
It's the PAX special podcast. We need an excuse to do a podcast now.
We're live from the showroom floor, actually, while this is...
We can
Yeah, we are.
see the showroom floor, but we're not live
because
from
we're
Steve.
on it.
No.
You're ruining
It's
the
an illusion.
Yeah.
Fine. We're actually right now
Hmm.
at Bethesda's booth on top of the Dishonored 10-foot Corvo display.
We could have just said we had a panel at 10:30 at night on Saturday and no one would have known that we didn't.
Well, maybe we do. Actually, special guest this week, please. As soon as he takes a swig from his bottles when I start talking to him. We have a special guest this week. Who is it?
Me, Luke Laurie. Hi, how is everybody?
Good, man.
Good?
From other things, but most notably kicking Job's ass at Titanfall 2.
That's what I do. Yeah, I'm retiring from video games now because what else is there?
That's the pinnacle.
What else is there to do?
Finally. Well, it's official that Stevivor has beaten Oz Gamers, so
Yeah.
it's really all we needed.
Well, beating Job.
No, they were representing...
No. If Oz Gamers
Their-
puts up a
their
post
sides.
on their website saying that Job is their man and we beat Job,
Yeah.
it's official. I'm Steve from Stevivor, by the way.
Have we not done this already?
Nah.
Oh, I'm Ben from Stevivor.
I'm Tano from PhoenixBazaar.com. I think that's the first time I've introduced my site, isn't it?
I
Probably.
think no.
Like, when was the last
There's
time we
even
podcast?
like a Phoenix Bazaar Stevivor
Oh, that's right. We've
Friendly
done
Fire
two.
Show
We've
logo.
done two. That's right.
We've done this so infrequently, we have no idea
Last
what's
time
going
was
on.
June, July after E3. Oh, so that's
Yeah,
right.
but how long
It was
has
the two of
Phoenix
us.
Bazaar been going on?
April.
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah, it's-
Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, 6 months. Just over.
So we are here in actually properly sunny Melbourne, which is weird because it's been shit all week and all month.
It was supposed to rain.
It's going to be 15 and rain tomorrow. So,
Oh, okay.
well, Saturday that just passed. We're really ruining the illusion of this.
That's pretty par from the course, for the course. But everybody, so all the people from Sydney, you can tell, are just like, hay fever has smashed them.
Yeah.
Luke was having problems this morning. I'm starting to sniff as well. I'm from here. It's bad.
Every time I come here, it's like this for me.
Welcome to Melbourne. Do you enjoy it? There's some trams. See the trams?
This is how I knew I had allergies, though. This is how I found out. Because every time I came to Melbourne, I would just be a wreck. Like, just, I couldn't breathe. And I was like, there's something wrong. Like, it can't be I'm getting sick every time I come to Melbourne. So I went and did, like, those allergy tests. And they were like, yeah, you shouldn't go near trees. I was like, oh, okay.
Stay away from those things that keep us alive.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't retire from gaming then. You probably should just
Stay indoors.
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
time.
On the
PAX
couch.
is the place for you.
Fresh odors and...
Not fresh.
Oh, it's fresh.
Eye herpes is like the latest thing.
Oh, that's right. I was reading that today.
What?
So apparently there was like an outbreak of herpes among developers at, was it the last PAX? I think it might have been in the States.
Oh my
From putting on the VR headsets. And like this discussion group between some devs was leaked by like this YouTuber who was part of that discussion and was asshole enough to leak this. But there was an outbreak of like literally herpes. Like not just saying that, the actual virus in the eyes, which most people have anyway, but to kind of get an outbreak of it is not ideal.
But I'm certain that I don't have it in my eyes. I'm just
Well, you
saying
would
that
know.
to
That's
feel
my
better.
point. You would know
Okay.
that you've got herpes on your eyeball.
Didn't a doctor then say it's unlikely to be
It's
transmitted
unlikely, yeah.
through a headset because it's not actually touching your eyeball ever?
Yeah. But
would
maybe,
need to.
potentially.
But someone's rubbed their eye and then
yeah,
rubbed the
I mean, it
handset.
can't be a coincidence that like 5 people got it after all using the same headset.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they were doing other things after using the headset.
Don't want to know.
Well, I've got a PSVR at
involved.
home.
They don't
Eyeballs.
clean them, but they also don't clean the controller, so you can
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. I was going to ask if Ben wanted to try PSVR when he comes back to my place later, but, you know.
You already said you don't have eye herpes.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that I have eye
It might be
herpes.
dormant.
Or you could
I need
test
to
for
wake
it.
that up.
I guess I could just like rub my eye and just like
Smear it on.
get you and see what that does. If there's a reaction.
We've spoken way too long about herpes. I
Yeah,
think.
sorry.
Like, how long does this show normally go for?
Oh,
Not-
3 to 4 hours.
Not a gap
Yeah.
level.
Well,
time.
no, because I'm used to 3 hour shows.
No,
so.
like an hour and a bit, and we're out of the.
If we had an hour, we're
trying to get
disappointing
chicken.
ourselves and mad that we didn't finish 45 minutes sooner or 15 minutes sooner at least.
Okay.
Now we'll go as long as we want. Have you guys done anything cool at PAX not involving herpes?
No, not yet.
If I change that to
I-
involving herpes, does the story change?
I walked around for a little bit. I checked out the indie game section. I played some weird kind of Pong looking game, which was surprisingly enjoyable.
Birdskipball?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It was actually pretty good. But aside from that, no. Tomorrow's my PAX day. I'm going to come in pretty early, and that's the busiest day. Why am I doing
I was
that?
just gonna ask.
That is so stupid. Maybe I'll come on Sunday.
I've been talking to
I
all the
didn't think this
developers,
through.
not developers, all the PR people at the booths, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't too bad. This is my first PAX. It's pretty easy so far." I'm like, "Yeah, this is Friday. Everybody's
gonna
Yeah,
die
tomorrow
tomorrow.
is stupid.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
why
I'll
I'm
come
not
Sunday
going.
at like 3 o'clock. When's it close?
6, 5, something."
Because we both know you're not coming on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. No. I've actually come on Sunday every year. That's been
Really?
my day to go, yes.
Why?
Because I just like going. It's not as busy and get into everything straight away. I've done that every year at PAX.
It didn't seem that busy today compared to previous years.
Well, the problem with today was that one, I had work, but more importantly, I was not in an ideal physical
Why's that? What'd you do?
state. Just stayed at home and watched TV and stayed out way too late.
That's because
Okay.
last night he went to a kind of good party, and then he
Went to a
went
better
to
one.
the Stevivor Final Fantasy 14 pre-PAX extravaganza.
That's a name.
That's a really long name.
Are we going to talk about that?
You
Gonna
should.
talk it out?
What do you want me to say? It was really cool. I had a lot of fun. I was the door bitch for a while, and then I made Ben the door bitch for a while. Sorry about that. It was just good.
Yeah.
There was branding everywhere and brand presence and all this stuff that no one else cares about but me. There's coasters and banners.
What about
Some guy
the-
was going around throwing their business cards on the table. Did you notice that?
He gave me like 6 of them, and I was gonna say the name of the thing, and now I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
because that's what he wanted me to do. So,
And
that
if you're a
guy.
listener, then bad luck.
Why don't you tell the story of the custom PS4 winner?
I was gonna. It's really cool. So, as I had to be the door person, I got to know the names of everybody coming in, which was good, I guess. This was just kind of a part of the job. But this lovely young man came up and handed me like a notepad, and it had his name, and it said, "Hi, I'm Josh. I can't hear." And so we had a little like, I didn't know what to do, so we had this weird conversation where I was like talking, thinking he instantly could read my lips, and it was dark and he probably couldn't anyway. So I was doing like weird arm movements trying to communicate with him before I realized I should just pull out my phone and type on my phone and he could read it. And then he wrote back on his notepad. Anyway, so that was just the thing that happened, and kind of forgot about it and done. And then throughout the night, he was kind of walking around, and it would be really hard, I reckon, to talk to people in that kind of state in a dark bar. So when I had some time, I just went and chatted with him for like 20 minutes. And just cool guy. He's
Was this the guy with the wig?
yeah, he was dressed up
Okay, I saw
as Noctis
Yeah.
from Final Fantasy 15, coming soon to not PC.
Nice.
Just had a chat, and that was kind of the end of that too. And we finally get to the end of the night, and they had a custom PS4 to give away, and it was actually pretty smick. It was from the UK, so it had a UK power plug, which they
Okay.
forgot about. So I think they gave him money to go and buy a
An adapter.
like an adapter or
Yeah.
something. But it was pretty good. It was like a white 1 terabyte console with cool, like Final Fantasy-esque purpley, swishy, I don't know what it was, just cool artwork
Someone
on it.
stabbing somebody is usually what's happening.
One of 3 made in the world.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
So it was time to do the contest, and they pull out the name, and as you do, someone yells out the name, and nothing happens for a second. So immediately someone's like, "Draw another name, he's not here." And the guy,
I bet it sounded exactly like that.
it pretty much did.
It was Ben.
And for some reason, the guy who pulled out the name was trying to be a showman. So he said the name, and then he crumpled up the note and put it in his mouth and like chewed on it comically. And I'm like, oh shit, like who did you say? What was the name? And by this time, like people around the crowd are like, oh, pull another name. He's not here. It's crap. And they were starting to pull another name, but then I think I knew what the name was. So I pulled out my phone and wrote it down and found Josh / Noctis and handed it to him. And like he went stiff as a board, like freaked out because he didn't know his name was called. He couldn't hear.
Yeah.
And then like I knew that was pretty much it. Like I was confident that was him. Like I would just give him the console straight away, but he wouldn't let me. He like stopped me and he was like shaking and trying to get into his wallet to pull out ID to prove that was his name. And I'm like, mate, like you're fine. You've already won. But he eventually got out his ID, and that was of course his name. And
Yeah.
it was like the perfect ending
awesome.
to a really cool night. It's like a really deserving like super fan. He's dressed up as freaking Noctis, like getting a cool prize.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Did you get the dev to talk to him at all? Like, did that happen?
It did. It certainly did. So I don't quite understand how it works because it seems like Final Fantasy XIV is not Square Enix as much as Square Enix would have you believe. Like
Okay.
it's more of like an MMO company that's kind of taken
The branding.
that
and-
that franchise name and stuff. So I don't know how it works, but it was a lovely man from Sweden named Zoen. And
Nice.
they had a chat.
It was a
pretty
good party.
I thought so.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
What did you think of the coasters, Tano?
Yeah, they're very impressive. I like the design, the shape.
Held my drink well.
Texture was good. Yeah, it really protected the tables. Well, yeah, went around and put people's drinks on them when they weren't using them.
Nice. Steve, what shade of white is that?
Yeah,
Whichever shade of white the coaster company
Okay.
called white.
Interesting.
Well, so like we've spent a lot of money on like new logo T-shirts and coasters and banners rather than like business cards and
Yep.
boring crap because I figure it just is better. Like no one cares about a business card.
And yet,
anymore.
here you are wearing your old T-shirt.
Hey, sometimes it's good to go retro. I like this. I do like this logo. It's a part of me.
I actually did have a lot of people in the last day or two coming up and saying that they really like the new branding and that the site's doing really well and it's good. It seems to be making a very big impact.
No one gives a shit about any of this but me right now. All the people listening are like, "Oh, can you shut up and talk about anything else?" That's cool. Go and give us clicks and stuff because we're all about clicks now. We've sold out to the man. We've got a clean new logo and we print coasters.
For awesome, the best parties.
The
on
best
Thursday
party
nights.
of Thursday night.
So far, the best party of PAX. There hasn't
Yeah.
been any on Friday yet.
Oh, it'll probably be the best party. of
Take
PAX.
that, Twitch.
Because we were at Wargaming and everyone there was like, we should go back to Stevivor.
Yeah.
And like people that weren't there was like, oh, I'm hearing about this Stevivor party. We should go there.
I'm so glad that the brand is so well known now by
Yeah.
cheap journalists who don't want to pay for their own drinks.
Because
Fantastic.
Wargaming are known for having the best parties. So to be able to top that is pretty good.
Well, they didn't have like chip tunes and a laser show this year, I heard. So
No,
already, that's
they had one guy behind a bar. No, it was all right. I don't want to like shit talk. Wargaming on mic. Moving on.
Very diplomatic.
Tell us how you really feel.
We'll happily shit talk everybody,
it's
but when
fine.
Wargaming listens, you want to get to the party that's
It's
next year
fine.
and is good again.
Oh,
to
we can
redeem
we
it.
can talk about their games. I'm happy to shit talk them then, but like,
Their social events.
well, no, because I mean, I was there, and can we just move on from this? You're all
No,
looking
this
at
is
me.
good.
No, because this is way better. This is better than the party.
Oh my god, I'm way too tired for this. Come on.
All right. Did anybody get a sweet roll today?
Yes.
No.
I heard they're not very good. Are they good?
It was.
Or,
Yeah, it
very
wasn't
dry?
very exciting. Yeah.
So where are they like shipped from? Are they like made in Melbourne?
No.
No, in Sydney.
They flew the guy, so that it's from Burke Street Bakery.
Burke Street
Yeah.
Bakery.
In Sydney, they flew at least some of those people to Melbourne to make them on site each morning.
Okay.
That was straight from
I
Bethesda.
don't know, because I just heard that a bunch of people, because obviously the media was sent samples, I guess,
Yeah.
last week, and a few people that I know were like, yeah, it's pretty ordinary.
It was pretty ordinary. It's what you'd expect to find in like the Coles dollar
Yeah.
aisle of
Like
baked
bread
goods.
with some icing on it.
Exactly
Basically.
it, yeah.
And I was just like, I was on Twitter being a jerk, saying that, like, it's just an upside down cupcake. That's all it is.
But it was like, it was hollow.
yeah, well, they're saving money.
No, it's not even. Yeah, it's not even a cupcake. It's a hollowed out upside down cupcake. Those boxes look more expensive to produce.
Yeah,
than
good boxes.
the sweet roll.
The sweet roll, yeah.
And apparently there was. What were you saying? There was like a CD or something with it.
Yeah, there was a soundtrack was included with it.
That's weird. So I don't know. Do you guys have some sort of structure, or like?
Does it seem like
Sorry.
we have some sort of
Yeah.
structure?
I was going to ask, like, have you guys talked about the big news from last week, the Bethesda review policy stuff?
We haven't
have
talked
not.
about Switch. We haven't talked about anything.
And we'll get to Switch.
Let's talk about the Bethesda thing while we're on the topic of sweet rolls. They would send out sweet rolls sooner than they will send you out a copy of Skyrim Special Edition. Even though really it's just a damn remaster and you've already played it.
Well, that's why Skyrim was a very odd game to begin this policy. They actually did it with Doom, but they didn't have the policy then.
Yeah.
And why would they start with a game that's 5 years old that you've already played? What's the benefit of not giving out Skyrim? Anyhow,
Because when they do it for Dishonored, it's not a big deal anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, it is still a big deal because it's next week, and that's the first new game. We knew Skyrim was good, and it's glitchy, and it's going to look a bit better in 1080p. Like, we kind of knew what that was already. Dishonored 2, no idea. And our recommendation has to be, at least mine, is don't pre-order it. Buy it a few days after launch. Wait, unless you're keen to take the punt.
Do you get anything with a pre-order? Oh, you get Dishonored Definitive Edition for free.
A third character to play as.
Well, that's even worse. To have, you get this free game if you pre-order, and that's been going on for months. And then they say, actually, even if you did that, we're not going to tell you if this game's any good or not.
From what I've played, it'll be pretty good. It's not like it's a new IP or anything. Like, it's Dishonored. You sort of know what to expect.
Yeah, but like at what stage do they got lucky with Doom, I think.
Massively.
The multiplayer was shit. It was terrible. And that's pretty much why those copies didn't come out, because they were banking on it being a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
And the campaign was what everybody went nuts for, because it was a really good campaign. But what's to say their next game is not like, it could be a Fallout where it's just buggy as shit, it's broken. The only person who benefits is Bethesda and streamers that have been picked by them.
Yeah, that's the other thing we didn't talk about at all.
I didn't like how they tried to spin it into, this is good for everyone.
Yeah.
And if you want to wait for your favorite reviewer, please do that. Well, like, don't make it sound like it's a gift to give us the option for people to wait. Like, that's terrible. And the thing is, people have been talking about games as a medium which should be taken more seriously for a long time. And as part of an entertainment product or something culturally relevant, that has to be criticized by third parties. Like, that's, you know, movies, film, music, books have always had critics, and like, that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda don't owe us anything. Like, they're entitled to do what they want with their products, but games in general should have a third party opinion before consumers need to make or want to make the choice to pay for it.
Yeah, because they can get to a point where games are not, it's not like a film where you can go and watch a 2-hour movie. It's, some of this stuff is 80 to 100-hour experiences, and you may not see much of that game 10 hours in, and it could be complete trash by that time. You can't take the game back. You've pretty much lost all your money. Like, it's really hard to justify that.
And that's the problem with like previews, is often it's 45 minutes of very controlled level, and it can look really good. What you don't know is that around it, either side of it, is where it's terrible, and that mission that you play that you thought was good, you do 50 times, and as a whole is terrible. So you could get some really positive previews out there. Then if you don't have the review, I don't think you can do Bethesda. Stevivor right now is on a preview for something, for example.
Yeah, we can't talk about it.
We can't talk about that.
All right.
But they are.
Is it Call of Duty?
I don't know.
No.
And I don't think
I can talk about that. No.
If you're going to preview that game, I think you then have to follow that up with a pre-release review. You can't just preview, because of how controlled the preview sessions are. I don't think it's right to offer this small little taste and then tell everyone to buy it. That's it.
Yeah. And you have to be harsher with it as well. If you run into problems or you have concerns about it, you need to write that now. Before, it was like an agreement of being, all right, there's some things in here that may not work, or it's a bit buggy, or this mechanic's a bit strange. That could change, but now we don't get the benefit of reviewing anymore. So you need to say, like, this is a problem. And
Well, and that's kind of like, I think that played a big part in Mafia 3, because when anybody looked at it, there's all these things that, I'm sure they'll fix that by the time it comes out. And there's kind of like this unwritten rule where you're a little bit more lenient of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then that game came out and it was
and also
as bad as it was.
The preview I wrote for it was from a 15-minute hands-off at E3.
Yeah.
Someone else played it. Then I played the game somehow the entire thing. The bit they showed us, and there was like a jump forward in that, was the best mission of the game by far.
Yeah.
And it was actually much worse when I played it myself. Like, how they made it look made it look a lot better.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, they were distracting us with someone talking and like pausing and like, this is what's going to happen now. And like, this looks like a good mission structure. Yeah. What you then don't know is that's a one-off. The rest of the game is the same mission on repeat constantly.
Yeah. And then you run into like situations where, like a couple years back at E3, I don't know if you guys were there, but when they showed BioShock Infinite for the first time, did you guys see that?
Yeah.
That entire demo was behind closed doors with Ken. None of that was in the final game. Like, all of that was removed. So you can have stuff like that happen where they show this awesome thing and then the game is completely different when it comes out. Or XCOM, for example. XCOM was, when I saw that was a third-person cover-based game. wasn't it like didn't it come out as a first person shooter or something?
No, it started
Yeah.
as a first-person shooter and came
Then it
out
went
as a
to
third-person.
Yeah, so the first time I saw
Yeah.
that was like a shooter, and then I was like, this game looks pretty cool, but it should be a third person game like Mass Effect. Eventually, that's what happened, but
And it turned out to
Yeah.
be garbage.
I don't know, man. I don't agree with this. And also, like adding on that review policy stuff is the whole them saying, "Oh, we want everybody to experience it at the same time," and then a couple days later, you find out that YouTubers have had Skyrim and they've been making videos and content. It's like, no, they've like flat out lied, and this is just for media, so it doesn't hurt their pre-sale.
And I think that doesn't make sense. Like when you actually dig deep into what that means, everyone play at the same time. Critics should be exempt from that because a good critic isn't spoiling the game in their review.
Yeah.
But when you have something like that, like a Skyrim or probably Dishonored, something which is going to be talked about a lot on social media, which happens now, like early players, people who are playing from day one, are probably going to spoil some stuff. If you have everyone getting it day one, including media, it's just more people to spoil it.
Yeah.
And you have to wait longer. If you're going to say, I'm going to wait for the reviews to come out, you're going to wait at least a week after the game. Chances are
Maybe
something
longer.
has been spoiled for you by then. If you had a review before it came out, you could buy it. You probably haven't been spoiled yet. Like I don't pay that at all.
Yeah.
Saying everyone play it once, it doesn't make sense.
And then you've got problems with wanting to be first now because you have to, generally with embargoes, like everybody's at the same time or around the same time. Now
Unless you're
you're
Call of
going to
Duty.
see publications being like, well, we need to get our review up first. And they start missing things now because they're trying
They're going to be rushed through, and it's going to be
Yeah.
people are not going to play side missions. People are going to just smash through as quickly as possible to get to the credits, which is a legitimate tactic to say, I finished the game, here's my review. And it's Bethesda have force at hand, really.
Yeah.
Because if you want to get boring into like delving into metrics, but you've got to have the review up in a few days. Like it's pretty clear after a week, people
Reviews
are not
don't count.
Googling for that review anymore.
Yeah. Well, and like Bethesda's argument to that surely will be, well, you're choosing to rush it. You should take your time and experience it in the way that you used to be able to do before the game came out, and you could sit there and think about what had happened and present something in a nice factual manner. Like they're going to say, oh, if you choose to rush this, you're rushing it because you've made that decision and you've put out an inferior review because you wanted to hit a date. Well, it's like, well, yeah, you get how we need to pay for servers and stuff. Like there is a component to this where we need to get views. So
Some of our biggest content is reviews, right?
Yeah. Especially ones that are up at embargo or by accident maybe once in a while, an hour before because we screw up the time.
At the end of the day, they're controlling
Yeah.
their press. That's what they're doing. They're giving it to YouTubers
They're
because they
controlling
know
the message themselves entirely.
they know that YouTubers aren't going to critique it. They're just going to play it as it is. They're probably going to criticize it in certain parts. I don't like that.
Not
But
really.
they're just playing it. They're just...
I find more YouTubers, the more they get like a collector's edition or something to unbox, the more they're just like, this is awesome. They're not really criticizing much at all.
The
Oh,
nicer
no, they
things
don't. Yeah, they
say
don't at all.
Maybe streamers a little bit.
Yeah, but what I mean is that they'll say it really casually, like at one moment in the game, they'll be like, I don't like that. But that's as far as it'll go. Like, they won't critique it and say, this is why it's wrong. This is what it doesn't do well. So...
But I can't imagine this happening in, like, movies is the closest thing to use to compare. And I can't imagine, like, Paramount being like, you know what? We're going to have all our critics get to go and watch it at the same time as you.
Yeah.
Like, that would never happen.
Well, the
Well,
thing with...
sometimes it does, but usually it's when it's a shit movie.
Yeah, and the thing is that when film studios do that a lot of the time, unless it's like a Michael Bay film, people actually know that that's a red flag, and they say, well there's no reviews. That almost always means it's either really bad or it's not easy to be marketed, and they don't know how well it's going to do, and they don't know what the response is going to be like, so they don't risk it. And people know it's gonna be...
historically that's been the same for games. Mafia 3.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
2K,
yeah, true.
2K, like we haven't talked about it, but 2K are doing that at the moment. They just haven't announced it. They've done it for their last couple of games.
Yeah.
But like one of them was terrible.
Yeah.
So whether or not they actually have this policy in, or they just decided this is a bad game, we're not going to give it out early.
But
Civ,
what's-
Civilization,
Yeah,
Civ was an
NBA.
odd one.
But that's what's bizarre about it is that if your game is good, then I mean this is the dangerous thing about it, because obviously they're going to go the same way as film studios, where if they know the game's bad, they're not going to send out review copies, which they've always done anyway.
Yeah.
But if you know that your game is good, and they know, Like, they knew that Mafia 3 was not that good. The studio knew it wasn't that good.
You could tell from the press kits they sent out when
Yeah.
they're sending out like the
Stupid shit.
vinyl
I
and
got
like
a thing
the
of whiskey,
booze.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in my office. I should crack it out later.
You'd think that they would benefit from sending that. It's just bizarre.
But in the
It really
case
is
of Mafia
bizarre.
3, it's really worked for 2K. Like, the reviews weren't out on time, and it's 2K's fastest selling game.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Well,
It
Faster
shipped.
than
I can't remember. I don't know the
Borderlands?
number.
I think
like
it was-
something 0.5, 2 or 4.5 million units its first week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many of them took it back to EB Games? I hope a lot.
Well,
I
I
think
hope
a lot
so
of the
too.
return rate
But
probably would have
the
been high.
thing is, if you had reviews for Mafia 3 go up 2 or 3
Yeah,
days
it would've
earlier than they
hurt,
did,
yeah.
people wouldn't have bought it.
So maybe what they're doing is, well, in Bethesda's case, announcing it 2K, potentially doing it more quietly.
Yeah.
Maybe they're deciding, well, if we only pull the bad games and we don't give them out early, it's obvious it's bad. If we just say nothing's early, then we take the hit. We don't get a Civ 6 review up early and get a 90 Metacritic score, even though we know that one's good, but we're better off just doing nothing.
Yeah.
And
So
then people can't tell what's good or bad beforehand.
now that we're in this situation, what do we do, right? Because we've been sitting here complaining about it, and it's an issue. It obviously hurts us in our role. What do we do?
Well, that's
So we have to evolve. We've got to do something else because do you go into more of a long form kind of critique in video form and kind of get it on that bandwagon? You've got to make up for that, like, kind of loss in figures and readers and stuff. But people are still coming to your site for that reason, but they're probably less likely to come now to read a review, which is the dilemma.
this is hilarious. Trying to figure out where you're going to end this sentence.
No, it's
There you go.
just that's my point.
No, yeah. The weird thing is, you don't hear readers getting as. Readers don't have opinions about this. Readers don't really care.
Some do.
Some do.
Some do, but like really, the people that are arcing up the most about this are outlets.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you have to totally change how you previously planned content
Yeah.
around the game launch.
I mean,
if you read the comments on like IGN and Polygon and stuff, most of them are negative, saying, "I'm not going to pre-order your game then, Bethesda." That's
Okay.
the general consensus. A lot of dumb comments as you get on the internet, but if you were to get rid of those and wrap it up, that's what most say.
I'm really curious to know what retailers think about this, because I think, if I were EB Games and you've got a really good game and you know that it's going to sell well, actually, it doesn't need to be good to sell well. Mafia proved that. But if you've got a game that you really want to push and you want to get pre-orders out there, a lot of the time you're kind of banking on positive coverage from the outlets, from a game you know is going to review well. And I think that this is probably going to hurt.
I don't know. It's the opposite, because if you put up a review and the game's shit,
It goes both ways.
people
Yeah, of
are
course.
going to cancel their pre-order. So this doesn't allow them to do that. They're basically not losing any pre-orders now because nobody knows if the game's good or
But
not.
do you reckon it balances out where you're going to have
People not pre-ordering?
yeah?
I don't think so. Like, if Bethesda releases the next Elder Scrolls, they're not going to give a shit whether it's good or not. That thing's going to sell.
Well, that's the
also
Elder Scrolls,
odd
I
to
mean.
do this with Dishonored, because Elder Scrolls Fallout going to sell. Dishonored, I wouldn't say is in that level.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that audience yet. I think Dishonored 2 is a classic game, actually a sequel, and they've pretty much said in interviews. I talked to the art director today. They pretty much say we never plan to do a sequel. And when you're saying that, and like, oh, we got the idea when we're doing DLC, and they've worked out that line in a PR meeting somewhere months ago. But when you're talking about that, I think that's a classic game to think, I'm going to wait and see if this reviews well.
Yeah.
Because when you're saying, no, this was a franchise where you thought was going to be this one game, and now we've decided to spin it off into this sequel, and it's not that well known, I don't think you should be
It's going to take Dishonored
assuming
to
it will be good.
tank.
Anyway,
It's
time
gonna
to
take
start
pre-orders to
YouTube,
drop.
Twitch,
Yeah, I'm not
hybrid,
doing that.
Stevivor, Bazaar channel.
Getting salted with Ben Salter. What was the? That was even what we decided.
You've been salted.
You've been salted. Jesus.
We got to work on that, man. I'm like such the old man. Like, how's your PlayStation 2? That's the new one, right?
I reckon I'd be an alright YouTuber. I just haven't got the energy to do it.
You need time, man. It's so much
I haven't got the
time.
energy.
Can
Not
I
enough
hear
time in the
quickly
day.
around the table your best YouTube channel intro?
Alright.
Tano's got this.
Hey everyone, it's Tano, back with another video of Call of Duty, and in this video we're going to talk about the AR-15 rifle with ADS sight and red dot sight and how well it works in domination. As you can see, and that's all I've got.
That's actually pretty good. I'd
You
watch
should do
that.
it. Yeah.
That was a joke, right? Like, that was not me seriously considering that.
No,
No,
but that's what
you
you have to do.
should
Yeah.
I thought YouTube was here. That's
You thought I was in
You
YouTube.
guys were looking at me thinking, yeah.
No,
okay,
you went
sure.
first. I'll go. Hey, who's Ben? I'll go if you want. but
Go,
you can
Ben.
first.
For
I'm
what?
putting it. You have to do your YouTube.
Oh, we're doing
impression
YouTube voice.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay. Well, now I want to use my tagline, but no, you go first. I got to think of how to
All
use
right.
it.
Sup guys, it's your boy Steve, and I'm here with another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about Call of Duty. This video, guys, it's really close to my heart, and I just wanted to put out this video to show you that my video about Call of Duty is the best. So, like, make sure you like this and subscribe. And this video, you guys, it's so good. This video, we're going to talk about. In this video, we're going to talk about Call of Duty. Video.
Hearing that, you sound real jaded. I've just realized this is a
Yeah,
bad
I
segment.
love YouTubers. I love streamers.
Maybe we should cut this out because we need to grovel to
I
them.
just don't get it. Is all I'm saying. I don't understand.
I
how-
get it. You know what? I find myself kind of like I've been watching a lot of Modern Warfare Remastered kind of streams and YouTube
Why have you
channels.
bought what's it called? Infinite Warfare
No.
to get Modern Warfare
No,
Remastered?
I'm tempted to.
Can we talk about that for a
$130.
second?
We can definitely
Yes.
talk about that.
It's
because
out now.
Well, it's like so.
I-
Activision gave Modern Warfare Remastered a week early
yeah,
to not to everyone,
To-
but
to
to
streamers.
major most outlets, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how you quantify that, but a couple people got flown out to a event somewhere. Their embargo time was 3 o'clock on the day of 3 p.m. on the day of release.
yeah, after the release. They do that every year though.
Yeah, but like so I don't. That to me, and Bethesda, that all like speaks of a lack of confidence in your game. And if you're going to put Modern Warfare out way in advance because you're
Yeah,
like
but-
certain everybody's going to love it,
COD doesn't need reviews to sell. It's probably one of the main franchises which doesn't.
so why be scared of it? That's what I don't
and
get.
it does normally review okay. It's normally mixed. You normally
their
have,
reviews so far have been pretty standard, like between 8 and 9 out of 10.
Which is a Call of Duty review.
Yeah,
actually pretty high. The Ghost Infinity Ward's the last game was more like 6s and
7.5.
7s.
Okay.
It was garbage. By far the
I'm
worst.
I'm really excited for Modern Warfare Remastered. That's just
And
one of
maybe you
my-
better buy it on its own for like $80 next year.
I might have to wait. I can't justify paying $120.
30.
$130. You can find it for about 120 in certain places.
No, it's exclusive to EB Games and digital.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper on the Xbox store.
No, it's actually more expensive on the Xbox store.
No, it's $119 for
No.
just the base digital code. I was looking today.
No, that doesn't include the.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
I
does.
guarantee
Class
you
him.
it doesn't.
Class him.
Look it up. It's
Ben,
PAX
do you
AUS
want
is
to take this
getting
outside?
real.
this is one of the things which annoyed me about Xbox pricing because there's $129.95 on PlayStation standard price. It's $130.45 on Xbox
Yeah.
for some reason.
Why? I think.
Why?
Yeah, I
I'm
think.
going to the Xbox store, by the way.
Yeah,
I
I
guarantee
think.
you that's the price.
No, I think what you're because there's one that's got like the map pack, and
No,
then
the
there's
one, the one with the season pass is $150.
I was looking today. It was
There's
definitely
no one that's not it. Guarantee you.
I'm still trying to get. I'm getting there. I'm getting
But
there.
is anyone else excited for that game, or is it just me?
I would play the campaign of Modern Warfare. You have to have my copy of Modern Warfare.
do too,
on
actually.
360. You've
Is
had
this
it
where
for
all
like-
this hate's coming
You've had it
from?
for like 6 years.
Oh, COD 4, it still holds up. That multiplayer is just unbelievable. I can't wait to jump back into that.
I wonder if I could get Mile High. Club.
Not interested in Infinite Warfare because the beta was garbage.
And my copy of
Utter
Rogue Squadron
garbage.
2,
Yes.
which you denied having for years, and then remembered.
And then I moved. And I found it. All right, Ben. Everyone knows I'm stealing your game.
You went round to
Sorry.
his house and it's like, is that my fucking Rogue Squadron? You said you didn't have?
So it's $100 for
This game.
the non-game that you want, the new one, not the old one.
Yeah.
$130.20 gets you both, and there's another version as well that I'm looking
There's
at. here.
definitely something there for 119.
Not COD. That was Battlefield is 119 Deluxe Edition.
That was God.
The EB tax.
Certainly
God
is.
damn it.
Don't bang the table.
Anyhow, it doesn't matter because even if you bought it on disc, you can't sell that disc because
Yeah.
you need the disc to play.
'Cause I was
That's
looking-
really annoying.
But someone they've actually started. Someone had a COD on eBay. Someone
Oh
had
my
a code
God.
on eBay.
The next one's more expensive. I thought it was going to be in the middle. This one's $150,
Yeah,
and
that
you get
includes
other
the
things.
Season pass.
Yeah, well, that's awful.
Someone was selling the code on eBay, and then I'm like, that's when I researched because I thought, surely you need to have Infinite Warfare for this. And then
Yeah.
I actually did a news article on it. I totally forgot about it. But yeah,
Used your own site. Came up in Google. That's
Yeah.
right. Good work, me.
Yeah. Good SEO. Hire me for all your SEO issues. And
Talking about annoying season passes, Titanfall's done it well.
Yeah.
It doesn't have one after the first one was killed its own community by having terrible
do you know where
DLC.
they got that idea from?
Call of Duty.
Plants vs Zombies.
And then,
Garden
well,
Warfare.
this
For free
confuses
DLC,
me,
you mean? Yeah,
because
not for
then-
charging for DLC. That's age old.
Then Battlefield has like a $60 or something season pass. Learn EA, you're so close. You've got it with one of your two shooters which have come out too close together.
The thing with Battlefield though is that I think by the time the DLC starts rolling out, you're gonna have a kind of really dedicated.
You
fan
will.
base.
It'll
It's
be
different,
it'll be
and they'll
decent.
buy it.
It's the same as Battlefront. Like it's way too expensive. Same price as the game for the expansion pack.
Battlefront.
Yeah, but people are going to play Battlefield like that game.
They will, but that's still pricey.
Speaking of Titanfall,
I heard we're really good at it. Well, I'm good at it. I know that.
Yeah, definitely.
Can we talk about that for like 20 minutes, please? That'd be great.
20 seconds. Anyway,
No, we have to give as much time at least as Job tweeted, so at least a week.
so at
Do
least
you want me to tell you what happened?
Oh God, yes.
Oh, God.
So,
we get some popcorn.
So we get there early so that we can start drinking. We were the first two there. I think we were about 4 or 5 beers in at least. And so they set up like five screens on one side, 5 on the other. They had a streaming couch where they had 2 hosts on there and an interviewer. And I started getting some practice in, and we got absolutely obliterated during this practice. Most of it I was setting up my sensitivity and that sort of thing because it was crazy. It was too
Because
hard.
Luke is dedicated.
Yeah, I
and
got to
professional.
make sure it's all good.
Yeah.
There's an empty seat next to me, so clearly I'm without somebody. I don't know what's going on. Don't know who's on my team. Job finishes his interview. I go up and do mine. I threw in some Mighty Duck references in there because I thought we were the underdogs, and they were pretty good with that story. Like that's where they were going with it. And then we get back to our seats, and all of a sudden, Shnez comes over and she's like, "You guys have to swap sides," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm cool with that." So we swap because the entire time while I've been doing my interview, Job's been over there setting up his entire squad's loadouts of what like each person should be doing.
Oh, Joe.
And while my team, I'm like missing a player and like 2 footballers, and I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what mode we're playing or what is
Was
happening.
it Jared Haynes?
No.
Is that a guy?
That's COD.
No, sorry.
So we swap, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then so Job's freaking out because he set everyone on his team up, and then Alex from Kotaku finally jumped in and sat next to him. And then they were like, all right, we're starting in 30 seconds. Let's go. And that was it. We kicked it off, and very close match through the entire thing. But we destroyed them, so they lost.
On hardpoint? Or
Like a domination mode. Is that
yeah,
Empty
hard
hunt?
point.
Amped,
Hard point.
amped hard point.
Yeah, so you've got to capture the 3
Which I
points
don't like.
and amp them.
I like it.
Don't like
I liked it.
Yeah.
I would rather them have a longer time to capture the points and have 1,000 points to win rather than 400. Because
It's a short mode, but I actually really liked it as short mode because Battlefield takes so long to play anything
Yeah.
that I feel like all the
I love it.
Titanfall's
I love
modes
it.
are like under 10 minutes. And I kind of like, when I'm thinking, which game do I want to play today? Do I have
Yeah, you
5
go in
hours
and out, yeah.
to commit to Battlefield, or I've got 20 minutes? I can fit in 2 rounds of Titanfall.
Well, yeah, like if
Four
you can't say I've got 20 minutes to commit to Battlefield. You
No.
won't finish a game. You'll have at least a half an hour. At
So
least.
I like that there's a different option. Since I am playing both of them at the moment, I kind of like that there's a bit of a difference. I really like Titanfall, but I think it's odd that they now have 3 versions of Team Deathmatch.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why don't you ever want to be in my Battlefield squad?
I do.
Because you forget to.
I prefer to be
you get
squad
to
leader
make
because
commands.
you don't say anything.
Yes, I do.
I
do
tell
now.
you where to go.
The reason I didn't the first time
I'm
was
with Ben.
because
You're
I
lying.
didn't know how
Are
to
they
do it.
married or something?
Yes.
It was like my first match. I'd never done it before. So I know how to... That was
Okay.
literally my first match.
I'll follow your leadership next game.
I've been in
I'll
2
kill
squads with you, and you've not done it either time.
You know what is actually a disaster? Is on Battlefield, squad commands is RB and grenade is left bumper. In Titanfall, grenade is right bumper. EA, sort your developers out and get them to coordinate that shit.
Yeah.
Have they pushed out the update where if I kept asking Tano for a command and he doesn't give it, I can boot him as
I don't know.
squad leader and take over?
That would be awesome
No,
because
that's-
I spam the shit out of that.
That happens in 4, and people have complained that it's not in 1, and they're patching it in, but I guess they haven't yet. I don't know.
And like same with medics. If a medic's right near you and you're not under fire and someone doesn't save you, you should be able to do something.
They should
Half
burst
the
into
squad
flame.
is always medics.
Yeah, it's because
The best class.
the weapons are overpowered.
But it's annoying as hell because you see like 6 meters, 5 meters, 4 meters, 3 meters, 2 meters,
6
1
meters.
meter.
Yeah.
6 meters.
dead. But that 1 meter sits there for like 20 minutes. It's
Like, I'm right fucking here.
yeah, it's so annoying. Or like they stand over your body. They almost like they just should teabag you and then just run away before they run away. But they do run away. One of those things happens. I like Battlefield. I've been playing too much
It's my
Destiny.
favorite game of the year.
I've been playing way too much Destiny again.
That other mode they've got on there, which is not in. I don't know. I play on PC, so I'm not too sure. Operations. It's
Operation's the best.
like
by far.
2-hour games. It's
It
crazy.
takes a long time. If you play through the whole thing and you get to the second map and it's close, it takes forever. But it's really like it actually makes sense as a game mechanic, and that's what World War One was.
It's a war, yeah.
Fighting and defending for land. It actually is a simple way to make kind of what the war actually was into a game mode.
But it's also
Surprising.
hard. Very
Yeah.
hard.
And it makes you think you finally achieved something when you get a sector or when you defend a sector. It's like it's taken so long, but then the next battle's happening straight away. Like you don't have time to like bask in that.
But
victory.
you're jumping in with like 2 or 3 friends, 4 or 5 max, and like we were
have 2
pretty
squads
good.
when we play.
There you go. So like Ben and I were playing, and like we didn't do too badly, but we played against a team that actually worked as a team, and they got the airship,
a whole
and
team.
they destroyed us, and we got the airship, and it was blown up in about 2 minutes. Like, just what happened?
Yeah. But to play it at its best, you just need a squad with a few people at least. If you play on your own, it wouldn't really work out.
Yeah,
I'm not having fun with it on my own.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
it's too hard. But I guess is the campaign structure, the grossly revamped campaign structure, filling that void for you, or no?
I've only played one of the modes, which is the tank one.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
what
not like the prologue where it throws you straight in as soon as you fire up the game. I think that I get what they're going for, but I did not have fun on that because I'm very competitive. And spoilers, they force you to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was quite grim though. Like
Over
you don't
and
really
over again.
expect a game to show, well, these guys all just died.
A couple times it drove that point home, but then by the 3rd or 4th death,
It went
then I
too
was
long.
getting angry. I'm like, no, I got this now. I get what you're trying to do, but I want
It was
to.
short.
I want to be like Rambo.
I think the tank ones, looking at all of them now, is probably the weakest
Okay.
of the
I
full.
rather
I heard the
like
last
that
one
ones.
was pretty bad.
The
You
airplane
don't have
one.
to play them in order, so it's hard to know.
I didn't like the
last
airplane one as much. That
I
just
didn't mind
kept
the plane
going. That
one.
guy was like a snarky little.
I think the Gallipoli one's actually really good.
I don't think I've done that one yet.
It is
That's what I keep hearing.
biased because it's Australian.
Yeah. Does he drop a C bomb at all?
No, but a lot of he might do actually once.
I know there's a lot of
A lot of F bombs.
bombs, yeah. But if he doesn't drop a C
I
bomb,
don't
it's
know.
not
I
an
don't
Australian
think
It's
so.
not Australia.
Americans take that very different to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can put that in American.
The Australian version should just let it go, and the other one should be
Yeah,
bleeped.
I think it's worth playing.
Definitely. It's really good multiplayer.
So has anyone else done PSVR?
No, not really.
I did it at the
No.
EB Games Expo, which I did a write-up on it on Stevivor, but otherwise
That's a
since
website.
then, haven't touched it.
It's so bloody gimmicky. Like the Batman Arkham VR is great. That's about it, really.
Everything that I played was short demo type experiences.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
I fear for it because 2K has announced Carnival Games for it.
That's already out.
As soon as a Carnival Games comes to a platform,
It's
Really?
like the curse of
That's
the Wii.
the kiss
it's
of
like
death.
Wii, Connect, Move.
There's some good like Riggs mechanized combat, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I've heard that's right.
It's pretty good, but that's the only game where I'm sitting. It's annoying too, man. Like you get home from work, and you're like, "Oh, it's time to do some VR." Okay, so I guess I need to move the couch back, get the coffee table out of the way, get a kitchen chair, put it here because that's where the PlayStation tells me is the optimal range. Then you got to get the headset down, connect it to the processor because it can't stay connected and sit on your entertainment unit anywhere because it's too big. And then you put the headset down in the chair and go and get the controller, then go back to the chair and go, shit, I should get the Move controllers instead. So swap that out, put the Move controllers on the ground or something. Go to put the headset on, forget that you haven't got a headset for your ears, go get your headphones, put the headset on, put the headphones on, forget where you've put the Move controllers, lift the headset up a little bit so you can find the Move controllers, pick them up, put the headset back down. The headset's not in the right spot now, so everything's blurry. Like it's like a half an hour to get ready to do it, and by the time you've done all that, you just don't want to do it anymore.
And then your food arrives.
Well, and then you just can't be asked, and then you play rigs and you sit in the chair, and the tracking screws up. So it like just ever so slowly, little by little, it just keeps shifting to the left, and by the time you're finished, you're facing away from the TV, and you're trying to like make the thing center back to yourself, but it just keeps screwing up, so you just have to keep turning around to kind of go with it. Or you play like Here They Lie, and it's so nauseating. That's the only game that's made me throw up. And it was just because the right stick shifts so if you hold back on the right stick, your muscle memory is thinking you're gonna walk backwards or something, or like start like right stick controls. As soon as you hit right stick backwards, it shifts your perspective to look behind you, and your brain can't figure out how that's just happened because you're supposed to turn or something, and it just makes you feel really gross.
Sounds great.
Well,
sold them.
Yeah, this is why they're sold out.
Batman's really good.
Telling everybody.
Batman's really good because you get to be Batman, but even then you're standing around.
The problem is, what are you
not
doing
moving
in that game?
being
It seemed
Batman.
like a tech demo to me.
You throw shit at Alfred. That's
Yeah.
Is it not an actual game?
You can use your grappling hook. You can throw a batarang. You can do like investigator mode, and like this.
How much does this game cost?
Like $60.
That's too much.
So is it the same level of quality you get from like Arkham City, which also costs about
every other
$80,
game, right?
Just like an hour-long version of Arkham City
for $60?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's insane.
And I don't get it, and I don't think it's all that it's cracked up to be.
Well,
I mean,
very
they're saying it's sold out everywhere, but what I'm interested in is what is the sold in numbers?
Yeah.
Like how many units have they actually shipped? Because I know that EB Games was sold out of the first shipment straight away, but like how many units were actually in that shipment? So how much have they actually sold?
It's kind of like the Wii, and that my favorite part now is getting people who haven't used it before to sit down and play Batman and like be really excited by it, and then be done with it, and not have to like go back and realize that it's not the best the next time and the next time and the next time. Yeah, it's like when you had everybody over for Wii Bowling the first weekend or the second weekend, and then just as time passed, you just didn't care anymore. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it feels like to me. Maybe the PS4 Pro will fix that somehow.
I think there just needs to be one game. Something like, if Resident Evil turns out to be really good, that might be it. Because
the difference this has to like Kinect or Wii is something like Resident Evil has said you can play the whole game in VR or you can play it on a normal TV. It's not one or the other, which is the problem with Kinect, really. It was like, here's your Kinect games.
But this is going to suffer on Xbox because you don't have VR. But then, conversely, I think you're going to play VR for like a half an hour and then be like, I need to have a break from this.
Well, if you had both consoles and you bought a PlayStation VR, you'd get Resident Evil on PlayStation to have the option.
Well, I wouldn't because there's no achievements. But yeah, I know what you mean.
If you're not that insane.
So Steve buys both copies.
Yeah, I probably will. No, well, but I can't imagine wanting to be in that atmosphere for more than like a half an hour at a time because like it's comfortable, but you take it off and like your forehead's sweaty and like it's not that heavy, but like you can feel it on eye herpes. Like it's not. It's like I have 2 3D TVs. I have 8 pairs of bloody 3D glasses sitting in my bookshelf, and I don't ever go, man, this would be so much better in 3D. But like VR is pretty much the same.
Yeah, but it is earlier. Like it hasn't had time to have its moment. 3D did, and it
3D's
died.
dead. Except at the cinema, where they still fucking making me buy a 3D session for some stupid reason.
Yeah, I refuse.
I don't go to 3D. It's so.
I saw
dumb.
Force Awakens in 3D. It was pretty.
Yeah,
good.
We saw it in IMAX. That was good.
No, because I didn't have any other choice because all the other versions were sold out.
But at least in
Midnight
3D
session.
movies now they've stopped doing the like, whoa, things are coming
Oh,
out
but
your
sometimes
face.
they do it.
They still do it.
Sometimes they do it. Like Piranha 3D was like pretty
Oh,
cool.
but
Yeah, that was
that's
good.
that's like B movie. You're expecting
Yeah.
that kind of thing, aren't you?
But that's the only way that 3D was ever going to kind of. And Avatar was pretty great in 3D.
Yeah, but that's what PSVR is
Yeah.
like right now. It's like the coolest part of Batman. It put like you put on your outfit and you put on your helmet and then you like it puts a mirror that's like here's the bat mirror and you're like, oh, I'm Batman, and you move and it moves with you and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. But like, and then of course because the move controllers are so bloody old, like it sees a speck of dust or something 5 feet behind you and your Batman arm like flails randomly to the left and it's
That sounds amazing.
well, yeah, it's
You're
it's
right.
so
It's
gimmicky.
still like early Wii when there was this small game that was great and then didn't go anywhere. And then it was early Kinect on 360, which had Kinect Sports was fun, but then it didn't go anywhere beyond that. And Dance Central was fun, and that's it. That's all that happened. And so far, VR is pretty much at the same point where I think it's got a lot more potential, but it's also a much bigger cost to get it. Like at least Wii U had it with the console. Kinect was like what $150. This is $550 for a unknown potential gimmick.
Yeah, who's going to release a AAA game on
No one's going
such a low volume?
It's not going to be.
Well, and like if we're talking, this is maybe a good segue, unless you want to keep talking about VR. But you know, like the Wii led to the Wii U, all these gimmicks. It's a pad that you can play instead of your TV. But if you go like 10 steps far closer to the bathroom, because really we all just wanted to play it on the toilet, range was too far. Nintendo's just taken all of those gimmicks out theoretically, mostly with Switch.
There's still some gimmicks in the fact that the freaking controller comes apart. That's
But it's like
Classic
it's a
Nintendo.
handheld or
so
it's
that you
a
can lose it and then you gotta buy a new one.
yeah, no, but it does make sense. Like the 3DS and Wii U have basically been the same thing for 2 years. Yeah.
so we don't know like if it's a touchscreen. We don't know.
I don't think it's going to be touchscreen.
I think it's
I
supposed
think
to
it will be.
They said it's got. I can't remember the rumor. There's like a touchscreen thing, and there's like a sensor that you can use something on the Joy-Con controller to simulate
It's like an
touch
it's the
feature
same that's
on
in-
a TV.
Sorry, I mean what I mean is like multi-touch, like like the Wii U controller, because isn't that screen quite large?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think it will be. No, I think it will be like a phone screen, like multi-touch, multi-pressure.
Oh, okay.
Because the Wii U one is stylus, like one touch, really old school. You know, BlackBerry PDF,
Yeah.
90s style steel, which only Nintendo is rocking stylus. I think they're gonna have to go
Does
with
it come
like.
with a pen?
That you immediately.
I think they're gonna have to go with like a phone tablet style because that's what everyone uses now, especially like younger kids who are going to use it. That's just what they do. I think it will have to. It'd be weird if they're like DS actually kind of pioneered touchscreen gaming, which is now progressed to mobile gaming and it's much better there. And then they've had it on Wii U, they had it on 3DS. It'd be weird if they're like they haven't actually updated it since DS. That's why it feels so ridiculous now. It'd be weird if they didn't have any. But they have said that no game can require it because you have to be able to play on TV. So
And do you think
Yeah,
that
that's right.
is the 3DS done in March 2017? Do you think? That's
no,
the only thing that's helped
it's
Nintendo
done
not.
at the end of 2017. It'll
Yeah?
have a little bit of legs, which is fine. Like it's it's 5 years old. 2011, I think that came out, so it'll be 5 years old.
But it makes way more sense to have a Pokemon game now on Switch because you get all the red, blue, sun, moon
Well,
things.
so they're not going to discontinue like 3DS immediately because a new Pokemon's just come
How do
out.
they need
that will
to?
sell for it. No, I mean,
I want to delete Xbox 360 and PS3 off the website at this stage, and
Yeah,
like
you
every
should-
once in a
you should
while, it's
now.
like here's another one.
that's
Oh, it's still out.
that's been 3 years.
Yeah. Well,
They didn't die off immediately. I think
Just kill it.
3DS, Wii U died 2 years ago. 3DS will have a little bit of life for another year or two.
was it confirmed if they actually stopped production on Wii U?
No,
There's a rumor.
Nintendo said they
No,
had.
they said they haven't. Yeah.
Would you believe him?
I never bought one.
I traded mine in about 6 months ago because it was a waste of space.
That's
And
why I'm
nothing's come out.
cautious. I'm cautious about this still. Like, the
I think you
Switch.
should be cautious.
I guess it's about the games.
It is, but it's more like what I think they should do. Because when I have played Wii U, it's mostly been not on TV because it's convenient to be having a second screen. But then you have to have the Wii U right there, so I have to sit here still. So what's the point of this? Like they're getting there.
So like, I'm gonna sneeze. The thing that's debatable with the Wii U is that like this isn't debatable. There was no third party support. Nintendo kind of dropped the ball a bit. There were like some decent games, but there were a lot of rehashes, and there were clearly games that were first meant for the 3DS that they decided to put on Wii U to try to save it.
Because they don't have enough time to develop for both.
Well, Well, okay. So Nintendo's first party stuff is probably going to be strong on Switch, and third party support has been pledged. But third party support was pledged for Wii U, and we're in the same situation as Luke was saying. Like, it's not a powerful unit. So like they're going to have to develop for PC, Xbox One, and PS4, and then make a dumbed down version of something for Switch, and they're not going to do it. That's
how games have to be made in the future anyway, because they have to work on Xbox One, PS4, PS4 Pro, Scorpio, which is already using sliders, basically, and PC across min and recommended specs. We don't really know how powerful Switch is. It's not going to be that. As long as it's not that far behind Xbox One, it will be doable.
Yeah, that seems to be the rumor, right? If it's not as good as Xbox One, but
it needs to be
close.
in the realm that, okay, we're making it for 4 consoles and PC, we can easily adjust. If it's like way behind, like Wii U was a generation behind, and Wii was SD when the competitors were HD consoles. Like, it was just, you had to make different versions of the game. If it can be slightly adjusted, I think it will be a viable option.
Yeah. Well,
which Nintendo hasn't had since GameCube.
Whatever happens, Ubisoft will be there.
With 9 launch titles.
Just Dance.
Yeah.
Actually, Just Dance is pretty good, by the way.
It's already confirmed.
All the shit that was out of Just Dance 2016, namely World Dance Floor, which was the best thing ever. Because, you sit there with people and you're like, what do you want to dance to? I don't know. What do you want to pick? I don't know. So, like, you go to World Dance Floor and it just picks, like, a playlist for you. And it doesn't just use the on-disc games. It, like, will get things from the Ubisoft subscription service, which you don't have to even buy with World Dance Floor. So you get just like random songs and you get to dance against real people. And there's like this competitive nature to it. And they took that out of the last one. It's back in 2017. Actually good.
Okay.
Get it on Nintendo Switch in March 2017.
That's how we know there's definitely motion in the controller thing.
But no, you can pair your smartphone to it. So maybe they'll rely on that.
Well, there's going to be motion in it.
There probably is going to be motion on it. But you could also... that may be weird. Maybe they will make you do your smartphone.
No, the Joy-Con thing's got motion.
Does it?
If it can be used...
Oh, it has accelerometers. Yeah, you're right. I think. Nintendo Switch. Basically making shit up because they did a 2-minute video for it and haven't said anything else.
Well, you actually mentioned this a while ago, that Rockstar's the king of the announcement, and they happened to make their announcement when Nintendo were. Like, classic Nintendo, fluffing it again with Red Dead, the lead-in.
But not only that, when they did it, I remember they put that logo out to start with, and we got a group chat on Facebook, me and a bunch of other media people.
No one else has that.
Sorry.
No, what?
And I typed in there, holy fuck, like, Rockstar just changed their logo, and it's red. I was like, this is Red Dead 2 for sure. And then the next night they did the next announcement, and the next night they did another announcement. Yeah. And they waited fucking 2 days after that. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't say you do it.
If you were Nintendo and you saw that happening, they had a YouTube video at a certain time. If I saw a Red Dead logo go up, or anything that could have been remotely considered a Red Dead logo, it was like, next week, guys. We'll just do it next week.
Yeah.
Shut her down.
Shut her down. They should have just quotations leaked it. And be like, here's our Switch trailer early, accidentally. Surprise.
But the weird thing is, like, I think everyone assumed that Red Dead would shit all over the Switch. And then the morning of, like, because it was at 2 or 3 in the morning here. So when I woke up,
Switch
I wasn't
was
seeing
news.
Red Dead everywhere. I was seeing Switch everywhere, which was...
The Red Dead, we already knew Red Dead was happening because they pretty much announced
it. They did, like, the
Magnificent
Magnificent
and the
7?
The trailer was pretty small, yeah. So we knew that was happening. It wasn't like an amazing trailer. It was good, but it was a short teaser.
What if it actually beat out Switch? Like, how bad would you feel?
Yeah.
Would you feel sorry? I'd feel sorry for Nintendo.
The difference is mainstream are going to cover stuff like that. But, sorry, they're going to cover Switch, not Red Dead.
Like news.com,
yeah.
the Game Boy 2.0.
Although they might cover Red Dead, they probably did because of how big Rockstar is. It's the type of thing that homepage editors don't get, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
But
this
I
is
think
a good game, yes?
I think when like your Today shows or whatever you like TV,
Yeah.
they're not going to give a crap.
New
about
Nintendo
it.
product is
Mario's
exciting still.
back. Or something. That's my Today show.
If we did anything that still lasts now, it's people remembered that Nintendo's a thing. So like the branding of Nintendo was helped by that still remains. I think people are like, oh, that's right, they have a new thing, which Wii U didn't really do because it looked like a controller for Wii.
Everyone thought it was an extension.
Yeah, so at least now they kind of can really push that. You know, you used to play Nintendo in 2006. Here's our new thing.
Have you met Predatory Mario? He's just standing behind a curtain waiting for you to check out his Switch. It's a joke there. It's like a sexual predator joke about Mario. Come on, that picture was creepy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot what you were talking about. It was just
Like Mario behind the guy, like, hello, children. It's creepy. Shouldn't do that. Well, I've ruined that conversation.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
boys.
Let's kill.
That's it.
Says
We're done.
Tano's awake. Hey, buddy. How you going?
Oh, I'm ready to celebrate PAX.
Get some Red Bull.
Go and
$15.
jump
15
around.
gold.
Anything and yeah, maybe I'm done too. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about before we finish up? And we're like smack on an hour right now. What'd I tell you, Luke?
We missed.
Efficient.
Quarter way through on my podcast.
We missed
Time to go
We're
for
still doing
a
intros
bathroom
over there.
break, and we'll go get some lunch. And what do you want to talk about, Tano?
I don't think we've
you
missed
look
anything. I'm trying
perplexed.
to
You fell asleep for like the last 20 minutes.
think.
Oh. What other big gaming news has happened of late?
Are you looking at me?
I thought you would have something. You normally have something you want to complain about.
I don't know. I can't. I'm trying really hard to think. No, we've covered everything. Battlefield, Titanfall, COD.
The two games, the
Like,
three
don't
games
need
you're playing: Battlefield, Titanfall, and COD.
Switch, Red Dead. That's it.
Cool. So this is my favorite thing to
That's
do
it.
now. I've just decided. So I've been on the Gap podcast twice, and every time, like I've like twice, like it's so many times. The 50 millionth time I've done it, Luke goes, "So what are you doing next, Steve? What do you want to plug?" And I'm like, "So Luke, what are you doing next? What do you want to plug?" Good.
Stevivor.com, I guess, is where you can see a bunch of the things I write. I don't write as much as Steve.
I don't think anyone on the planet.
If you'd like to read
That's what I
daily
tell
news,
everybody. I was like, Steve works so hard. You guys are so lucky.
this is way too much of blowing smoke up my butt. for
You
my
guys
liking.
did. Oh, the site had a Halloween week last week.
Yeah.
And I had a review for Dead by Daylight go up for that. I think Ben did some stuff as well.
I put up the picture of wanted to put up the picture of us all meeting Shinji Mikami, who's Shane's hero, who's normally on this podcast, but he's not here right now.
Yeah, he couldn't make
and
it.
he wasn't there. And well, actually, he didn't get it. We only had 4 invites, and he was the 5th man. And
Gaetano.
we posted the picture on Facebook,
Oh, was
and then he himself photoshopped it and changed it to his cover photo like within 5 minutes.
Wow.
It might
And
have been a
it's still
point of
funny.
contention. But man, Dead by Daylight's really good. I sort of heard about it, then forgot about it, and you've reminded me that I really need to get into that.
Yeah, it's one of those games where, like, it's an indie game that was released about June, and it's probably one of the top 10 games on Twitch that's played. And they're a studio that's basically, they'll do a Twitch stream every week. They let the community know what's going on. They do updates usually every week or two to the game. They're always changing it. This is all free stuff. They did a Michael Myers DLC update last week, which is really cool. And I think if you compare that to another independent game, which I talked about in the review, which was No Man's Sky, like you look at what happened with No Man's Sky and how they've gone radio silent compared to this other indie developer who is out there every week going to conventions or doing Twitch streams, like communicating with their audience. It's hard to fault a $20 game that I've put 160 hours into. That they're listening to the feedback of what everyone's saying. They're improving it. Like $20, man, well spent.
Well, and it seems like it's not Evolve, obviously, but it's similar. Like it's one versus many.
Yeah.
And look where Evolve's gone. It's
Yeah,
done.
in the
It's
2K
so
pile
done.
of shame.
Yeah, we forgot about that. Doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So I want to check it out. I don't know. I need to get a better PC. I think, but that's the next step. Tano,
Yo.
you're back. You're in the room.
I'm here.
What are you doing? What do you want to plug?
Well, FenixBazaar, obviously. That's FENIX, is in.
Phoenix.
What's his first name?
Marcus?
Marcus.
That's what
Phoenix.
your site's
Actually,
named on.
sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, you mean JD Phoenix, protagonist
Yes.
of Gears of War 4.
Yes. So
Oh,
FenixBazaar.
Did you think about like naming the site Maria or anything like that?
Why?
Because Dom's wife, he's always screaming
Oh, maybe I could start like a girl gamer.
Yeah.
Start.
Yeah, that's a good idea in 2016.
Today on
Diversity.
half-assed decisions made by Tano, Maria, the girl gamer
There's
thing.
a lot of money in that.
So
Oh,
you're
God.
plugging Maria. Okay, expect to see Maria next week on
Plugging
Phoenix Bazaar.
Maria. Jeez.
Phoenix named after JD, Bazaar named after something.
No, anyway, I did a massive redesign the other day, and it took me all day. And
It looks pretty cool, dude. I like it.
Very GameSpotty.
That's what, yeah, but that's not a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
working for GameSpot. And it's working for Phoenix Bazaar. It's not the same thing. It's
How
I don't know
come
why I
my
decided to make that
site
comparison.
XP is so low. I only have 100.
So you get 1 XP for every post.
Ah.
So you've made 100 posts.
Don't I get anything for my review of Gears of War? No XP?
No, well, I was actually trying to figure that out. I've got to integrate that.
So the answer is no.
No, I'm trying to figure. There's like a million things that, like, you would know this, Steve, when you're doing a site, and like the stupidest, most trivial issues that you come across take like days to figure out. How
And
to
the best
fix.
part is you fix something and it breaks like 7 other things. You're
Oh
like,
my god! And then I have to shut everything down and then turn everything back on one by one to see what's caused the problem. And, it's good fun.
Today on stuff no one else cares about but Tom and I. WordPress backend bullshit.
No, we should. Well, we're hosting our panel how to start a video game.
It's on at 10:30 Saturday.
No, Monday.
Be there. It's on at
After PAX.
It's on at
In the
12:75
concourse.
on Monday. Be there. Ben, what do you want to
Yes.
plug? What are you doing?
What
I like
am
this
I
ending.
doing?
We're stealing this. We're totally stealing this from the Gap. Sorry.
I would like to plug my excellent Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 reviews, which are better than Job's.
You
Did
know
you
why?
beat Joe at Titanfall?
I certainly beat him in review quality.
See,
I
Joe,
have- I
I
haven't
think
read
Joe
his review.
is very good at games because I beat him at FIFA as well.
I beat him. I crushed him at NHL, and that was the
Yeah.
best feeling in the world.
He did win play the objective in Battlefield, but I didn't know that was happening. I was busy landing my plane on the airship
Of
and
course
fucking
you were.
around.
Of course you were. That is the most Ben thing you could possibly do.
The weird thing is, when I beat Joe at NHL, he was saying he was busy trying to get his skater to go on the blimp or something because he was kind of salty. And then he went on Twitter and like tweeted about 50 tweets about it too. So
Yeah.
hi, Joe. You're not listening anyway.
He's probably not listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, we need to make a video of us destroying IGN or whatever in Battlefield because apparently I got killed or something. What was
yeah,
that
I don't know
about?
what was going on.
I didn't even watch that.
And because
Outrageous.
see, this is welcome back to Brand Talk with Steve from Stevivor.com. Because the gamer tag on the preview thing was Stevivor. I just got like this weird barrage of messages saying, "Oh, you got wrecked. You suck, Steve." And I'm like, it wasn't even me. All right, it was Ben. He's the worst.
Here's his game tag.
He's the worst.
Correct.
Here's his Twitter handle. Feel free to harass him.
Yeah, I was sitting there playing Battlefield 1 on the controller with everyone else on their keyboard and mouse. Like, yeah, I do what I want.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you're going to make a video about a game that you've been playing and you have hours of footage from the game you've been playing, you are totally going to pick the bits where you look really good playing the game.
Yeah.
Just think of that, people.
Yeah.
We just don't want to make videos, so that's why.
We've got plenty of
We're on the
footage of
back
me
foot.
destroying polygons like the standard.
I hear they're not very good.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Take that, Polygon.
I don't like that. He's a dick.
Cool.
Yeah. Can I plug my show?
Of course you can.
The Gap, the GAPodcast.com on iTunes, Android, Windows Store. You can hear me, Job, Nathan Lawrence, Junglist, talk about video games.
And me twice.
Yep. Guests. We have guests on sometimes. So writers from, I guess, all of us combined. Places like OzGamers, Stevivor, IGN, GameSpot, Red Bull, like Hyper, PC Power Play. The list goes on.
If
Creme.
you're after any kind of special guests with like a lot of expertise and knowledge, and
I'm right here. How you doing?
available.
Well,
The creme de la creme of Australian games journalism, and also Gaetano Presti at Phoenix Bazaar.
Whatever.
I'm just trying to wake you up. You look like you're ready to
We
pass out?
actually, I'll be honest, we had a very late night last night, so
You already said that.
I'm actually I'm really crashing right now.
Did you have your KFC today?
No, I didn't actually. I've held off. I held off because we're doing chicken now.
Let's go to chicken. I'm Steve from Stevivor. You can find me on Stevivor. You can find me.
Hang on. What do you want to plug, Steve?
Why are you
That's what I'm
plugging?
doing. I'm plugging.
Is that how you
Oh.
pronounce
Well, I
it?
didn't plug my.
Oh, what do you
I
mean?
want to plug my Twitter as well. Yeah, you can't.
Did I say Twitter?
It's Twitter's. Come on.
Well, plug your Twitters then.
No, that's right.
Oh Jesus.
Isn't it just your name?
Yeah. So search my name on Twitter. You'll find me. My incoherent ramblings about not politics, gaming, life, love.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Naps.
A sad state of affairs.
I want to plug my panel, which is in the past. By this time, it was at 10:30 p.m. on Saturday night.
Bad choice
So-
to plug.
I
you're not gonna be
will not be there.
I would expect nothing less.
I definitely won't be there either.
So my plan is. Oh, actually, before we finish, I want to ask you about this because I hear that the 10:30 slot was normally filled by Luke Laurie, Joe
Who
Gilroy
told
of the
you
Gap
this?
podcast. I think Luke Laurie did last year or the year
No,
before.
we usually did about 8, 9 o'clock.
Oh, well, that's still pretty bad.
Yeah.
On a Saturday?
I can't remember. It
Did you
was
get a lot of people?
Friday. Yeah, we did. We would do okay. When we got there one time, it was our first show. We had a line. I was like, something's wrong. It was super strange because we were all at the pub getting hammered beforehand.
Is
as
this
you do.
Major Nelson's panel?
Yeah. It's like, why would you come to this? We were going to do a podcast anyway. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So, and then every year after that, we kind of just told Yug, like, if you're going to put us on, because he usually does, we're not doing it at 9:30 at night. You got to put us on at a good time. He's like, no, you're an adult show. You're an adult show. I'm like, well, I'm going to get drunk. Fuck
We
it.
could not swear and be a not adult show, and that's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
that's weird, but that's what I always thought. After like 8 p.m., anything that's on after then is
Yeah.
Late night.
But the problem
mate.
is,
So can you drink? Can I bring like a beer on stage with me?
no.
probably.
I thought
'Cause
you were. I thought you
At
did.
10:30,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want, surely.
At
we
10:30, even the enforcers have gone home. You're fine.
So when you submit your panel, you get to put like instructions on there and what you require. And one year I put a bunch of stupid shit on there, like giant sombreros, an esky for our beer, and some other stuff, like 4 or 5 different things. And they all did it. Like we rocked up and there was sombreros and like an esky, so we could put our drinks into. So we had beer and everything.
Oh.
Nice. Well,
We should do a panel next year. Why didn't we think of
because none of us are organized enough to actually submit
just
a
a
panel.
podcast?
That's why.
Just do this. People will listen to us talk crap.
Yeah.
You talked about eye herpes for like 20 minutes.
People want to hear that at 10:30 on a Saturday night.
The dangers of eye herpes for
Well,
the podcast.
So it's me. It's New Game Plus. It's Alice Clark, freelance journalist, but with the Herald Sun, and it's
Fancy.
Alana Charizanalardard Pierce. I don't know how to
Sounds
say
about
her name. So I'm thinking I'm the funny one. I don't know if I'm actually the funny
you're
one,
definitely
but
the
I'm
funny
thinking
one.
by comparison I'm the funny one. So I plan to have a couple drinks beforehand, make
Yeah,
an
you
ass
should
of
go for
myself
that.
if need be. No one's gonna be there to notice, and then just
Do
stumble
you know
onto
what?
drinks
I
afterwards.
might come to that. We should do drinks before that, and then
We
I'll
are
come.
doing drinks before.
You don't have to come. I'm not trying to like actually spur up like.
Well, I've actually got a
Views.
pass for the whole weekend, so like, and we're gonna be
A pass from what?
Oh, we're drinking all night.
Okay, yeah.
Tomorrow from midday.
Pass
I think.
from my other person in my
Oh,
life.
fuck.
Master Phoenix. I mean Marcus Phoenix.
Maria.
I mean Jadis.
Oh god.
Dom's gonna be so pissed. Should we be done now?
I think that we should have been done about 10 minutes ago, but yeah.
Actually, my hard drive ran out of space, so we haven't recorded any of this.
Really?
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'll tell you what though.
Help.
Thanks for inviting me today.
Thank you for coming, dude. It's welcome to our fair city, full of hay fever triggers and
Good coffee at least.
good coffee.
I don't
And
drink coffee.
well, nightclubs open past bedtime.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that's good. Do you want to go for greyhound racing or something? Oh, that's still legal, isn't it?
No, they brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it
They
back.
brought
Okay,
it back.
well,
Let's not get political.
They realized they were losing money, and I'm like, shit.
Where do we get our money from?
and I think actually this is a good time to say that Shane, who's not here, so he's probably cringing at the audio quality of this podcast, is doing some sort of plan to make it so Ben can speak to us from beyond the grave, otherwise known
Yeah,
as
I'm
Adelaide.
dead.
Yeah,
No, that sounds about right.
that sounds good. So we might be back more regularly, and if we are, maybe Luke can join us more regularly as well. That'd be pretty cool.
Sure.
If
Sounds
you
good.
want, I'd like an invite back to the Gap. before the next 3-year.
When you were on last recently?
Yeah,
right?
but the time before that was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So the joke is, in 3 years, I'll come back on to the.
We'll,
Third
we'll get in touch with your agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share the details.
What's your business inquiries email? LukeLaurieYouTube@gmail.com.
I don't know.
Something like
Don't
that.
have one.
Anybody else? Anything before we
You've
go?
been trying to end this for 5 minutes at least.
For no, like 13 minutes and 34
Yeah.
seconds.
Did you move to Adelaide or something?
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm not hitting
Wow.
stop.
I didn't
Keep
know
going.
this. I thought you were here still.
No.
He's in my spare room right now.
Okay.
Well, not right now. Right now, he's sitting at the table talking to us.
What's there to do there?
Nothing.
Why'd you move then?
Do you know what Adelaide reminds me of? Like, I was born in Shepparton, which is like a small country town.
Yes.
Shepparton and Adelaide are like identical,
It's like Saskatoon. It reminds me of my hometown. Like a little bit slow, kind of a bit boring,
but nice.
You could
but
set roots
like,
there. Be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like sort of a backhanded compliment, but I eventually
It was
came
very
around.
backhanded.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, dude.
Do you hang out with Jess and Kingsley?
No.
Oh, is that why you moved?
Yes.
For Jessica. You moved for Angelo, a guy who wrote 2 things for Stevivor now, who you met 5 years ago, and who suddenly remembered that you met 5 years ago and told you last night.
Something like that.
Your best bud. Shout out.
Shout out to my man Angelo.
Okay, we're totally done now. Bye.
Subscribe and like.
Hit that thumbs up.